It's the Game Out Loud podcast coming to you with Rob, Jordan, and Dylan, and sometimes Colin too. It's everything about games you want to know. Thanks for listening to the show. It's the Game Out Loud podcast. Yeah, the Game Out Loud podcast.
You are listening to the 162nd episode of the Game Out Loud podcast, the one and only podcast for bagofgames.com. I am your host this week, Jordan Rusnak, and joining me is the irregular Mark Daley. If you haven't been on in a little while, listeners, that is my brother, Mark Daley, literal brother from the same mother.
Yes,
it's kind of fun. But, he is here to give us all of his angst and hygiene and funness.
Hygiene?
Well, I see your son sitting back there, so I can think of his teenage angst and lack of hygiene because of a teenager.
Smells like teen spirit, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get some gaming outbursts from him during the show.
Awesome. You also hear there Dylan Smith, who you may or may not know from the Your Life's a Life podcast. Hey there, Dylan.
What's going on?
Now you have to start recording a podcast called Your Life's a Life.
I was going to say, I didn't know about this podcast.
I didn't either.
Yeah, it's great. It's number on iTunes.
It's number on iTunes?
Yeah, it's number.
Exactly.
It's number.
It's a
on
number
iTunes.
on iTunes.
Yes. Check it out, in which Dylan gives away his social security number and life secrets. Yes, it's very, very good.
It's like the really bad version of Reddit's Life Pro Tips.
Is that a thing?
Life Pro Tips? Yes.
Yeah, all I ever go to on Reddit is I'm going to hell for this.
That's a good start, I guess. How not to do it.
Is Life Pro Tips like a joke?
No, they're actual Life Pro Tips. Don't bother.
I thought maybe it'd be like Life Pro Tips. If your ice cream is too cold, microwave your spoon for 30 seconds. You'll cut right through it.
You know they have r/jokes. You could just go there.
r/jokes? I don't know this Reddit thing.
Do you even Reddit?
No, I don't.
Do you even, bro?
How is this possible?
Bro?
How can I Reddit?
Brody, bro.
I don't know. You sit in an office all day, and I assume you're working, but I'm pretty sure you're just on Reddit and what is it, Penny Arcade and the Oatmeal.
Absolutely. I don't read the Oatmeal. I read PvP Online.
I don't know PvP Online. Is it a lot like the Oatmeal?
Questionable content's pretty good.
Is
PvP Online, yeah, that's by Scott Kurtz. He's in the same offices with Penny Arcade.
Oh, sweet. I'll have to check it out because I love Penny Arcade. Although I don't like how they've evolved over the art style over the last little while. But
how rude of you! I'm sure you just destroyed Mike's feelings.
I know. I probably did.
I think it's because I have teenagers in the house is why I'm at least passingly familiar with Reddit.
Probably.
I do know that
your son
it seems
has
like
Reddit
I've given up on Facebook, so.
I go to Facebook to see what other people are doing. Or what stupid post Dylan tagged me in every other day.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. What?
Like every time I log on there, Dylan has tagged you in 3 things. Oh, okay.
Fine. You know what? Fine. I don't want to share humor with you. I'm going to leave your life a dark, miserable, painful existence that it actually is. Butthole.
Wow, that speaks a lot for how you think my marriage is going.
Angry Asian drunk.
Not drunk.
Hashtag angry Asian.
I'm not drunk.
I'm
just alright.
Right.
I love you.
I love you guys.
Still not getting my beer.
Yeah. Oh, I see the Dylan namesake hiding back there. The little dog hiding in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's still
That's
with
my
us,
guy.
unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Oh, he's just as annoying as ever.
I still remember when he got a bite taken out of his ear by another dog.
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks into when we had him.
Yes. He was still drooling white residue on my crotch at that point.
You probably don't want to share that in a public venue.
He had kennel cough. But as this is a video game podcast, maybe we should talk about movies.
Yes, please.
So did anybody see The Martian?
Oh, I want to see it.
I haven't either. Dylan, have you?
No.
All right, fuck it. Let's talk about video games.
I did see an excellent version of the movie poster on Reddit, though. It was Matt Damon, the Matt Damon. Filmed by Matt Damon. Directed by Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
Was that really like the situation of that?
I don't know, but it was a pretty funny poster.
Well, since you're feeling lively, Mr. Daley, how about you regale us with the gaming anecdotes, that's not a word, that you have done in the last interim between your podcast visits?
Well, I didn't actually make that entire list. If I had, we would be talking about 20 games probably. Because it takes about that long for me to get through a game. But I'll give you a short list of the last few weeks. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
So, of course, I'm a PlayStation Network subscriber. So every month I get, PS Plus games for free. They toss out a couple at us, and some of those are pretty good. Some of them are mediocre. Some of them are, wow, I can't believe I even set electrons to eyes for that game. But in a little quick synopsis here, I've been playing things like, Entwined, which is cool.
What is that one?
You control two different characters on the screen with the two analog sticks.
Okay, so it's like Brothers.
So you remember the old vector art game Tempest?
No. Yes, yes, I do.
Tempest, the little guy that went around the outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, these two have half of a circular screen that they can move in, and you have to collect things and avoid obstacles while moving both of them simultaneously to do all this stuff. And once it's like one's a fish and one's a bird or something like that. And once you fill their bars, they combine into a dragon, and you enter a different area where you can fly around and collect other things. And it's kind of an art kind of game. I mean, it's definitely, pretty. The gameplay is interesting, although a little narrow, at least from my perspective. I only played about 3 levels where I was like, okay, this is not really holding my interest. So it was kind of an interesting exercise in hand-eye coordination, but otherwise not really terribly fulfilling. I didn't see rapid development as far as game functionality. But it was fun to play for about 10 minutes.
Yay.
Yeah.
One of those 10-minute games. And it was free, right? So
it was a freebie, yeah. And seriously, a lot of the PlayStation games for me are kind of 10-minute games because I've got my one main game I focus on, and then I see what new things come out. We got the Phantom Pain, which was cool. I played 20 minutes of that, and the problem is I just, I played it and then didn't ever come back to it, and by that time I forget what all the controls are.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, that was one of them. Grow Home just came out recently. That one's interesting.
I missed that one. I wanted to get that one, but I don't turn on my PlayStation, so.
Yeah. I didn't mind it. Kind of made me think of Mario 64.
Okay.
It has that kind of perspective. More things you can do right from the beginning. And the idea is that you're trying to grow this mystical, radioactive plant up to the, stratosphere so that you can get back to your ship or something. I think you're a robot. The controls are a little unusual. Or maybe it's just that they wanted to simulate the idea of things like momentum. Mm-hmm. So when you're moving, you have to be careful how fast you're going to make sure you don't go running off the edge of a leaf or something and go falling down. I don't think I ever died, but the controls were interesting. I was not comfortable with them. Good camera angle, really. I didn't have a problem with visibility or anything. Just felt kind of weird. There's a mechanism where you can grab onto things. So you eat one shoulder button controls each hand. So when you grab with one hand and then move forward, he will pull down with that hand to reach the next one up. And then you grab on with that one and let go of the first one, and he will keep climbing. So you can go back and forth. So that was kind of interesting.
Okay. Interesting. Did you beat it, or did you find it compelling at all? Because I heard it was really good.
Maybe I just didn't get far enough into it. As you go, you collect these little glowing rocks or whatever to power your robot to give it more abilities. Mm-hmm. I got to a couple of them where I had a I had like a little rocket that could I could hover or like jump and hover for a few seconds or whatever. Again, didn't really captivate me, but it was fun.
Okay.
Super Time Force Ultra, which is
I hear it's rather timey-wimey.
It is very timey-wimey. Well, it's a platformer, but it's it has this ability where you can kind of rewind time or like call in that you've got 3 different characters you can switch between, and you can also call in copies of them. So you use multiple copies with their different abilities to get through puzzles. Not really my cup of tea. I played through the tutorial, and that was about enough for me. I was like, yeah, I get where this is going, and I don't want to go there. But I think it could be a lot of fun for somebody who likes those kind of puzzles. Kind of a Braid, I think. Braid was kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
So same idea. I didn't play Braid, so I really can't speak to it. But the idea is that you can call in, multiple copies, and you can see them play through, and then you do other things while they're doing stuff. I don't think I'm very good at that kind of game.
Does do your instances link up to do something? Like if you have I've heard for example, if you were fighting a boss, right? Could you make a version of your guy jump and shoot? And then you run in there and he is going to jump and shoot again, and then you jump below him and shoot. And basically repeat that 50 times and basically kill the boss in one shot.
Right. And the idea is there are timed episodes where it's you have to get through a barrier in so much time, and it takes so much damage to do, and so you duplicate the character over and over and over again so that they all deliver their damage at the same time to trigger it. So but that's the same idea where, you can coordinate actions between them and hit at the same time or in proper sequence to achieve an objective.
Interesting. Yeah. Yet another one I wanted to get, but I never tried on my PlayStation.
I think you can go back and get them if you have PlayStation Plus.
I think you have to get them and claim them when they're out, and then you can go back and download them.
Okay. I'm not sure about that. I've always claimed them within the month, so. Let's see. I will talk about that one in a minute. Broken Age is by Double Fine Productions.
Yeah, that had a pretty rough go of it.
Well, I don't. Most of the games I see here, I don't read about. So, it's like a point and click adventure a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've played deep enough into it to understand what the story's really going for, but my impression is that the narrative is important in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I've only played the space portion of the first part of the game, and the missions are ridiculous. The kid is helping out elementary school aged aliens or whatever do things play basically. I didn't get to the other side where it's the girl on I don't know Earth or something. She's sleeping under a tree as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
I might come back to that one if it gets a little better, but I really don't. I really can't decide if, again, my game time is limited and I want to make sure I get good value out of it. If it's worth it for me to go back to and try to invest some more time in to try it out.
I've heard if it's it's a very, very good game, but there's a big change between chapter 1 and 2 because they split that development. Because they basically got a whole bunch of money, and then it seemed like they made 1, and then they're like, hey, we need more money, so buy 1, and we'll finish up with 2. And people complained about some certain things in 1, like the fact that it was less emphasis on the puzzles, right? Like point-and-click puzzles.
Yeah.
And they apparently just threw a whole bunch of that stuff into the last one.
Is this the one that was on Kickstarter?
Yes, Broken Age.
You're kidding.
It's got Frodo as the kid, right? Elijah Wood.
Okay. See, so I'm terrible with voices. I'll jump right out there and say that. My wife is amazing. She can nail voices anywhere. But for me, it takes a while for me to catch on. It's I have to hear the inflections correctly and catch the name. So that really didn't mean a whole lot to me. And the game itself, if this is that game that was kickstarted, then I guess, I could imagine that backers would be very disappointed from the beginning, unless that's just their way of integrating the tutorial seamlessly into the game itself, which is a possibility.
That very well could be. I don't know. I haven't played it. I don't want to spend the money on it. So
yeah. I wouldn't. It depends if you like that kind of game. I think it's kind of in the same lineage as, say, Secret of Monkey Island, any of those kind of, adventure, point-and-click adventure games, any of the Indiana Jones, Secret of Atlantis, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so, we'll see if I get back to it or not. One game I didn't write down that I wanted to mention, and I'm trying to remember the name of it now. It was on PlayStation Plus. Something about the Shogun.
Oh, Total War is the Shogun or no?
No, it was like it takes place in the like hell or whatever. It's this little. The game is really animated. It's very cartoonish, but it's a strategy game. And what you're doing is basically you've got all your different pieces and they can move so far. They have so many action points, right? Mm-hmm. And they can either move like up to a certain distance, and then they can have so many attacks. Like their attacks do certain kind of, it takes so many action points. The Skulls of the Shogun. That's what the name of the game is.
Okay.
Skulls of the Shogun, strategy game. I did not play it long enough, but I wish I would go back and play it again. And of course I can at some point. But, the idea is that, you're given a set number of pieces that you have to, defeat your enemy with, and it gives you scenarios that you play in. And your characters can level up, and some of them carry across from mission to mission. You've got one main character, I don't remember if it's the Shogun or the General or whatever, but, you're basically leading him in a rebellion against the forces that control, the land of the dead. So that's kind of an interesting little twist, but it seemed to have some pretty solid mechanics, and I want to come back to it and try it again. Let's see. Then we've got Rocket League.
Rocket League?
Rocket League.
Rocket League. We've never played Rocket League, have we, Dylan?
Never. I don't know what this League of Rockets you speak of is.
This sounds like a very dangerous league that should probably be disbanded.
Is it like Quake?
Yeah, I was going to say, is it like Quake? You took it right out of my mouth.
Yes, it was based on the Quake engine, wasn't it? Although I think Halo was the one that first implemented something like it. But obviously, Rocket League I think is pretty well known. The successor to Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars, which this household played forever.
Yeah, you're the only reason I know what that game is. Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars.
Yes. What an amazing title. And really the game was truly amazing. I think Rocket League is a great improvement to it. The only thing I wish we could see more of is some of those weird maps. I'm hoping that they put out some of the unconventional maps, like the pirate ship that they had in Supersonic. I think I've heard talk about that, people wanting to see that. But man, have you seen some of these pros?
I have not. I've only played my own games. I've never watched anybody play it.
Oh man, you get on YouTube or you'll see posts on Reddit every now and then where they'll link it in. But some of these professional players are just insane at
they can pull,
the things they can do with this game, and it just makes me not want to play. It's like I would much rather watch somebody play this game in a way that I can't even understand than to bother even getting in there and playing it. So, I mean, my kids love it. Hannah loves playing it. William is astonishing at it. He can take on 2 human players in our house easy.
Really?
Well, not to mention the fact that William had his birthday party here a couple weeks ago, and all of his teen friends were over here, and they were all playing it.
Huh.
Yeah. So, it's pretty popular and pretty easy to get into, it seems like.
We had a lot of fun with it. I don't think we ever played, did we? You and the group?
I don't know. I don't think I
rectify that at some point, though.
Yes, absolutely.
If Rob wasn't at a he's at Leonard Nimoy, Elton John. Don't know where those came together.
Leonard Nimoy concert. What?
Yeah, he's at an Elton John concert right now. So
gotcha. So anyway, Rocket League is a big one around here. Finally, so then of course the biggest game that's taken up the most of my time is
chess. Checkers.
I play that a lot. I do play a lot of chess, but only with one person.
Or rat trap, mouse trap.
TTK.
TTK. Isn't that the machine that you can talk to people who can't hear?
No. Close. One letter off. The Taken King, of course, came out for PlayStation 4, and I have been a big Destiny fan since the beginning.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to have you on, because I figured you'd been playing it, and you can give us people who were sick and tired of drinking the Kool-Aid.
Well, you know, it's my replacement for World of Warcraft, obviously. You know, obviously I have to have an MMO somewhere in my life, and now Destiny has given me that, even more so than they did before. So, the Taken King, I like. You know, it's just so stinking different. With that release, with the 2.0 update, Destiny became a super different game. Focused much more around gear, and the way they give you the stats around the gear makes a lot more sense. As far as, you know, leveling up and what have you. I mean, you can get a sword. Come on, who doesn't want a sword?
A sword, you say? Is it a laser sword? A
sword. It's an elemental sword.
What element?
You can choose. So when you get the sword, you can choose solar, arc, or void.
Ooh.
And then you can upgrade it. And I'm working on a quest right now to get my exotic version of my sword.
Ooh, sword.
William is working on his second one for his second character.
Huh. You are playing way too much of that game, my son.
Oh, he has got way more hours than I do. I promise you that.
Yeah. Did they change it for the good? Like, because I know they said they did a lot of changes to it, but like, is it something that's like you can feel? Is it something that improved the game? I mean, have you gone back and played from the beginning yet to see the new way?
Yes. So what they did was they changed the way you do like the storyline, the quests, and everything. So now instead of one single storyline, they've broken it down into quests.
Okay.
And so you'll get a quest from somebody, and each quest tells a piece of the story for each race. So like in the very beginning, when you're on Earth, you're dealing with the Fallen. So you get a quest that pretty much primarily deals with the Fallen storyline. The problem is, originally, and you know, before this, you could start getting sidetracked and not finish the story of one and move into another one. So what they've done is they've broken the quests down to give you a more coherent story for each race. So the Fallen, the Vex, the Hive, and the Cabal. Well, and ultimately the Taken also. So, I really like it because it makes more sense to me the way they've organized it. Now, they've also changed kind of how they do, you know, the weapons. Loot is different now. I swear every boss is a freaking piñata. You kill them and you see like 3 things come flying out of them that you can go pick up.
Well, good, because that was the dumbest thing in that game, where you would work hard at doing something and nothing would drop.
Well, and the problem is that, I mean, and they've given you ways to influence too. They have this new item called the 3 of Coins. It's a card that you buy from Xur, and you can spend it to increase the chances that a boss will drop an exotic. I actually used one the other day and got 2 exotics out of a boss.
Nice.
So that's kind of nice. So yeah, there's more loot, and the problem is you need loot because of this new fusion. You can do something called infusing on your weapons and armor, where you can use a higher level piece of gear to ascend a lower piece of gear. So like if you have a piece of gear that's rated like 265 or something, and you have another piece of gear that's 280, but you like the 265 gear, you can spend some glimmer and some parts and some legendary marks to absorb the higher level one into the lower level one and bring it up to, you get 80% of the value of the difference between the two. Unless they're less than 5, then you get all of it. But it's kind of interesting. So if you get a weapon that you really like, that you want to keep bringing up, then you can do that. Now you can't do that with the first year weapons. So like they're all locked, but you can get second year versions of some of the weapons. Some of them they're not bringing up, like Gallarhorn and Icebreaker. I'm pretty sure those are done.
Oh, they're just too broken.
They are. They offset the balance too much. So they've left those behind. You can still use them in like Crucible, because Crucible still level matches everything. None of the level advantages take effect. So you still see people playing with Thorn and Red Death and, you know, a lot of the first year weapons. It'll be interesting to see when Iron Banner comes out what people are doing, because that hasn't happened yet.
Are you going to buy any of the new dance emotes or anything like that?
You know, I haven't even gotten it. That's coming out next Tuesday. I don't know. I'm not somebody who spends money on aesthetics for these games. I will spend money, like, take Hearthstone, for example. I will spend money on cards because you need the cards to play the game. Now, is that pay to win? Not necessarily. You can get them through gold, but man, does that take a long freaking time. And plus the fact I actually bought them pre-release, so I got a deal on them. I paid the $50 and got 50 packs of cards, so that pretty much set me up. But with this, it's like, why would I pay money just to look different? I don't think. I mean, if it doesn't convey an advantage of some sort, I'm not going to spend any money on it.
I agree.
Yep. I don't get it. I don't understand they want to make money, but at the same time, it's like, that's a little ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I don't have a problem paying a microtransaction every now and then. If I see something that's just like, you know what, that's cool, I'll spend $1 on that. Fine, big deal. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to spend a lot of money recurrently. Some people, that's what they want to do, and that's fine. To each their own. Just not this guy. I
don't either, Mark. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
So anyway, that's what I've been playing, man.
That's quite the litany of games.
Well, yeah, but if you think about it, I haven't been on in months, so I've had a backlog.
True. We'll have to keep getting updates on you for Taken King, because aren't they supposed to be like you developing more like everyday life stuff in that game, or what is it called? The stuff they run every once, like the Iron Banner or all that. Yeah, well, so they run Iron Banner once a month. And are they going to have other events? I don't know. I haven't had a chance to do the raid yet. I've got the light level. I just haven't gotten signed up with my group yet. So, once I get past the raid and some of the end game content, they might start throwing some other things out there. I mean, right now the big thing is the events that occur with the Taken, which are quite regular right now because a lot of people are questing to get things finished up. So they have to happen a lot. But the older things like the House of Wolves stuff, that doesn't happen anymore. Huh. I'm trying to remember the Dark Below stuff. I mean, if there was anything for that, it doesn't really happen anymore. So everything is always like whatever's happening in the worlds is happening because of current events. Huh. Sweet. Well, that's good. Are you going to do any of the holiday stuff or the?
Oh, the quests for holiday?
Yeah.
I picked up the quest for the shotgun, and you have to get 100% reputation in Crucible.
That sucks.
You gain 1% for a kill, 2% for a headshot kill, and then like some bonus percentage for multi-kills. Mm-hmm. I could never get past 4%. I suck at Crucible. That's just plain and simple. Anytime a quest puts me through PvP, it is like pulling teeth. And I really, it's the only thing I hate about Destiny is when I get a quest that requires me to achieve something in PvP.
Right, because you don't want to do it, right?
Yeah, and I know that Bungie is sensitive to that. I know that, they've tried to make sure that players have access to things either way they want to go. Whether they want to go PvP or they want to go PvE, they've tried to give them options. The problem is that sometimes, those things cross over, especially like the sword quest. They require you to do things for both PvE and PvP. And that just really aggravates me.
Well, I'm sure.
But I deal with it. And I mean, I've gotten through the one part, so now I don't have to do it again. Yay.
Yay! No more of that garbage.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks, man. I think we're going to jump over to Dylan. Tell us what you have been playing, sir.
So, per our discussion previously about getting those mods downloaded for Arma, thank you for sitting down and helping me out with those.
Uh-huh.
We played Arma. I've been playing a lot of Arma.
We didn't play Arma. Just throwing it out there.
I know. Thanks for getting me those mods, but I've been playing Arma.
Sweet. I blame my friend who, he says, this is what you need to do, this is the server to come on, and I try to do it, and it doesn't work at all. Anytime. Like, I got all the mods, I try to log in the server, every time I try to log into that stupid server, it's like, down for maintenance or something. Like,
you're not playing DayZ, are you?
No, we're playing Arma 3, not Arma 2.
Arma 3.
Oh, okay.
And, I as you probably, I don't know if listener, if you remember, last time I played, I got to a certain point, and then I just kept getting killed, and so I just kind of let it lie for a while, and I came back to it. You know, it's been updated since then, since I last played it, and turns out that the save file that I had was no longer usable by the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out that I had to restart from the beginning of that whole thing.
Uh-huh.
And it's nice though, because I wasn't actually that far, sadly. But since the update, like, I just cruised right on through where I was stuck. Apparently, my save game time ended up being in a position where I was at a very an unadvantageous location compared to, you know, everyone else, and so that ambush that occurs just ended up smiting me. But this time I just cruised right through it, and I'm burning through it all, and it's been a lot of fun. It is a lot more technical than Battlefield 4, even. Like, you know, between the Call of Duty and Battlefield 4 groups, everybody goes Battlefield for the, you know, lead time and bullet drop and stuff. It's not as high octane. This game, Arma 3, is like the big brother of Battlefield.
Well, they designed it to be like a simulator, right?
Yes, it is much more technical, much like even walking will eventually wear out your soldier, so your accuracy, whether you're standing, kneeling, or prone. They actually send you through this little training montage where they have you run a bunch and then try to shoot some targets, and each time you have to either stand, kneel, or lay down, and you have to catch your breath and then fire.
I was going to say, so the running affects your aim because
Yes.
you're supposed to have exertion and
Yes.
your heart rate's elevated and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, cool.
Precise. It's great. Like, if you haven't played it, Mark, I'd recommend picking it up, man. It's a lot of fun. It looks great. Dude.
So did Farming Simulator.
No, screw Farming Simulator. This is a PS4. It's a $400 PS4 to a $3,000 computer.
Right.
So.
Still can't believe you made him buy that and then didn't play with him except for that once.
He didn't make me. And I did play it again later on. I was just, like he said, listening to Spotify, playing, sitting there plowing a field.
Seriously.
It's not too bad.
It's not that bad. It really isn't. But, so yeah, Arma 3, check it out if you haven't. Earlier today, actually, I bought Prison Architect.
Oh, yeah, what do you think?
I haven't gotten a lot of time into it. Your roommate, Chris, hi Chris, he kind of finagled me into a game of Battlefield which lasted forever. Because you know how you play one round and then you'll play another, and then holy crap, 4 hours has just passed.
Yep, it happens.
Yeah, so I've got, I think, 10 minutes in the game so far, but it's well laid out from what I've been able to experience. It's by no means graphics intensive, so those of you who are concerned about graphics, if you're even interested in this kind of game, it's a top-down build/manage a prison. That's all you do. And, Chris was like, I don't know if that's something that you would buy given your history. And I was like, well, given my history, I thought I would have a little more insight to this whole thing, so I thought I'd try to check it out and see how it played out. And like I said, I haven't really gotten too much time into it, but I'm actually pretty excited about playing it.
So then you're talking about mods too. I mean, what are you modding?
Oh, I haven't played with the mods in Arma yet.
I don't even know what they are. I haven't gotten to work either. Apparently it just adds
guns,
new maps, guns, skins, and stuff like that.
I mean, the last mod that I played was Desert Combat for Battlefield 1942, which was amazing. Well, I guess that's not true. That's the last one. I also played Counter-Strike when it was mod for Half-Life. But
too bad you can't do that stuff anymore. You can't just mod your game and play in modded Battlefield games. It just doesn't work. It's like they have it all locked down so no one can do anything. Like installing that mod. How long has it been she had to install a mod like that, Dylan, where you actually had to, if you didn't know me and we're trying to figure it out, you had to be like, wait.
I don't mod though, that's the thing.
Well, right, you're just copying files in.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I've had previous experiences where because I was trying to mod, or somebody I know was trying to mod, their whole game got screwed up, and they didn't know where, they didn't know how, so they had to completely uninstall everything and then reinstall it. And I've had several run-ins with it in the past. I just don't want to do with it anymore. It's, if the game is at a point where I'm enjoying it that much that I want to continue playing it, but I need more content, then I'll consider it. Like I said, I have just recently repicked up Arma 3. So.
Well, Steam makes it a lot easier to mod with the community workshop.
Okay.
You literally just one touch install. Like, you're not doing like what we did.
Okay, cool. Well, then I'll have to check
because they package it all up.
Correct. And it's way easier.
So basically there's an installer for it.
Yep. You hit a button and it's done.
And I will have to look into that more.
You do that, sir.
But, so Prison Workshop and then the usual, Battlefield, like I said. And
oh my gosh, I forgot a game, you guys. I have to tell you about it.
No, you've had your turn. Maybe you'll have to come back next week.
No, you're going to be totally jealous.
Am I going to be jelly?
It's jelly.
Yeah. I backed Mighty Number 9.
Oh.
They released the demo on Steam.
How is it?
It's fantastic because I can hook up my PS4 controller to my computer and play it.
Oh, you have Bluetooth?
No, you don't have to. You just plug it straight with USB. It worked.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome. And it's totally, like absolutely Mega Man all over again. It's excellent. I played it and, it looks great and, I didn't even play all 3 demo levels. I played like one of them and the intro and it's just, spectacular. Same experience as I remember playing. I played the very first Mega Man on NES when it first came out and it pissed me off because it was so freaking hard.
Is that the one with the guy who has a weird face for the cover? I
don't remember, but I was just saying that there's no tutorial or anything and you don't know what you're getting into. So it's just like the first time I remember Adam and I spent like an hour just beating the first level. It was so difficult because there were no like save points or anything like that. So anyway, I had to mention that. So sorry, go on.
That's awesome. Yeah. You have to let us know when they actually release it.
I think it's supposed to be February of next year is what they finally actually set a date for it. So it's supposed to be like February of 2016.
Interesting. Well, when it comes out, we'll have you on.
Sweet.
So, Dylan, what else is getting your goat?
That's pretty much been it this week.
Sweet.
But he wasn't really interrupting anyway, so.
So I guess we're on to me, and I played this game. I always mispronounce it. Star Wars Battlefront? Battlefront. That one.
And do you teabag your opponents?
No. I just die. That's, I like what they have going. Of course, I understand it's a beta, so I'm looking forward to the full release. But it feels, a little strange. Because the time to kill is way long to what I feel it should be. Like, you seem to have to put, like, fire down on an enemy, just dun 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 dun, and keep hitting them for quite a while. And it could also be that I'm used to playing Battlefield on hardcore mode, so it takes way less to kill.
Right.
But, it looks absolutely fantastic. It sounds absolutely fantastic. When you're running around and there's an AT or an ATST around you, the thing is massive. And it is so cool. You can actually play this, Mark. It's a free open beta.
Oh, really? Because I've been seeing the videos of people playing it on Reddit or whatever. And
do you have an Origin account?
Seen some pretty funny stuff, but haven't even considered playing it. I don't know. Is it only on PC or?
I think the open beta is only on PC.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't play a whole lot on my PC. I did upgrade my video card so I could play some other games like Hex, but
we should rectify that.
Come
to the dark side of the awesomeness.
Hey, I've got a $400 machine over here that's dedicated for gaming. I better use the doggone thing.
I have one too. You know what it does? It collects dust unless I'm playing Bloodborne.
Then you've invested poorly, my friend.
True. I just don't like the games that are coming out on it, at least right now. And I have this $2,000 thing sitting right next to me, so it's the Dylan argument.
Yeah. I get it.
But Rock
I'm
Band,
not rich like you guys.
Oh, I'm not rich either.
You must be. You
I
got
can't
a
say
big
anything.
computer.
He can't hear me, but you have a drain on your income right behind you. Yes, that one.
Sucking me dry.
Yes.
Sucking me dry. And that's only half of them.
Yes. The other half is not even there, and it's still consuming money.
What? I'm not talking about you.
Yeah, I played Battlefront. Looking forward to that. It's a little different than I thought it would be. It's been a long time since I played Battlefront. So I still think I was in that mindset that it's going to be Battlefield with Star Wars, which it's not. Battlefront's a completely different game. But you only have one primary weapon, and then you have 2 secondary items you can carry in with you that you earn through playing the game. But it feels weird not having a secondary weapon.
You earn them like every time, or like after you level up to a certain point, you get them every time?
Well, after you level up, you have the option to spend credits to purchase cards that they're just an inventory. So you're like, oh, I want this item and this item, instead of just being like, oh, take this item. It's like, oh, I have this card here. So I have like the cyclic rifle, I think is what it's called, and the thermal detonator, and those never go away, but I had to get to a specific level in order to buy them and to get.
Oh, so it's kind of like how you upgrade cards in Forza. They have the cards also.
I guess I've never played Forza.
So my understanding is that you can get like packs of cards that'll have upgrades that give you like certain performance enhancements in whether it's braking or acceleration. So this does the same thing then.
Yeah, very similar.
Okay.
But it's fun. I mean, they didn't seem to have multiple levels of cards though, which that might change. Again, this is a beta. I only played Drop Zone, so boring gameplay after a while because all you are is on the smaller map, and these pods are shooting down from the sky, and you have to go and capture them and hold them. It's like King of the Hill.
Uh-huh.
But it is beautiful. So like when there's a pod ready to come in, you can look up in the sky and you'll actually see it like blazing down through the atmosphere and like hit the ground and explode. It is so pretty. The sounds all look good. I mean, the weapons, they're very iconic weapons that they have for the beta. And their blaster fire looks like blaster fire from the show, like corny, like sparks and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. It's probably going to be closed by the time this comes out, but hopefully some of you guys got to go ahead and take a look at that because it was really, really fun. I do have some issue with it, but we'll save those for when that comes out because I know they're doing a lot of work on it. So let's see if my issues hold over to the final game, and if they do, then we will have a moment. But other than that, man, I mean, really, Metal Gear Solid 5, just plinking away at that. That's a fantastic game, Mark. If you don't have that, you should be playing it.
You know, I played the original Metal Gear on NES.
Yeah, because that equates to like, hey, I have a duck and a mammoth.
I get it, but you know, there's a provenance there.
Yes.
For the history of the game, and I'll be honest with you, I got to the very end and didn't win. I tried to destroy Metal Gear and failed. I don't know how I failed because I had 250 guided missiles to shoot through the stupid little vents and it never died. And then never picked it up again. So I never got into the storyline. Now like I said, I did play the Phantom Pain a little bit. So it gave me a good feel for the gameplay, I thought. I presume it's, you know, similar to that as far as like, you know, stealth and, you know, but special forces, you know, combat when you have to and.
Yep, that was actually, I didn't play the Phantom Pain, and that's like the prologue to the game. I didn't realize that. Okay. Like the game starts you off like what feels like in the middle of something. And you're like, oh, that's because I never played the Phantom Pain. Yay.
Gotcha.
But, or sorry, not Phantom Pain. That's the Phantom Pain's the one I'm playing. What's the?
Oh, sorry.
Ground Zeroes.
Yeah, Ground Zeroes. Sorry.
Ground Zeroes is the precursor to it. Yeah. But Dylan, are you still digging on Metal Gear?
Yeah, I haven't been able to kind of get around to it, but from what I have been able to play, I'm still pretty excited, to be honest.
Yeah, I am loving it. I'm
having a good time, yeah.
Yeah, I play it like for maybe 45 minutes a day, maybe, if I come home and I just want to relax and play something. I'll come and play a couple missions or play a mission, because they're all like sectioned off like episodes. So it just feels natural to do that. It's like, oh, when I see credits, I'll go to bed. But that's what I've been playing. So I think at this point we're going to jump over into Extra Points, the part of the podcast where we talk about non-video game related news, media, or otherwise funness that we got into this week. So Mark, because you are the guest, we shall start with you.
Non-gaming related?
Fascinating.
Yes. Non-electronic game related.
I've been reading Rainbow Six.
Is that like a combination of...
I love you so much. Is that book not amazing?
It is amazing. I have to go back to it every few years and read it again, just because I need a little testosterone boost, you know?
I have bought it so many times because I give it away to people. I'm just like, do you know Tom Clancy? They're like, yeah, I like his stuff. Have you read Rainbow Six? What's that? And I will just stop the conversation, run to my house, grab the book, and give it to them, and then be like, you're welcome.
Well, the worst part about it is the fact that you're giving them like the tail end of John Clark's story, you know?
Right.
What you should do is give them like Without Remorse.
That's true.
And then Rainbow Six.
But Rainbow Six is so daggone good, man.
It is really good.
Just stupid good, man.
So I've been reading that. We just watched The Bourne Supremacy.
Yay. Look at what I'm showing you.
There you go.
Rainbow Six.
That is awesome.
We just watched The Bourne Supremacy, and that made me realize I have not read the Bourne books. So now I'm going to have to pick those up. And we just bought Furious 7 at Costco. So now we have that to watch.
That's that buggy kart racing film, right?
That's right. No, I'm sorry, it was a game. Never mind. I shouldn't be talking about that.
It was a game? I'm lost. I'm so confused.
Right?
But, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I've, been trying to do some reading. I think it was Neil Stevenson who wrote a book recently here called Seven Eves that I want to get, but I read the first part of it and haven't continued since then.
I love
Dylan, you've read Neil Stevenson's stuff, right?
A bunch, yes, a bunch.
Have you read Reamd?
No, not yet.
Okay, so I read
pick it up.
I checked out at the library and read like the first, 10 to 12 pages, which probably wasn't very fair, but it just did not grab me. So okay. I may need to go back to that one again.
Because I read Anathem, I read, what is the other one? Cryptonomicon?
Yeah, I read that one too, on your suggestion. I actually, we had this conversation last time I was on that, I had read Anathem and you gave me a list. So I grabbed some, previews of the books off of Amazon. What was the one about the magician in Victorian London?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Mr. Newell, or anyway, that's where this whole conversation came up. So anyway, yeah. So I'm looking at picking up a couple of Neil Stephenson's books and maybe getting into some Robert Ludlum.
Do these books have any pictures? Because that's how I like to read my books, with the pictures and the pop-ups.
I'll bet. You don't need any words.
No, the pictures say 1,000 words.
Right.
Sweet. Well, how about you, Dylan?
New show. I tried getting into, because I watched Wicked Tuna. Yes, I know.
What?
So I started watching Alaska Fish Wars, and that thing is just so dumb.
Wow.
Okay, so here's a side note thing, though. The next Sherlock has been announced. My head exploded. I was so excited. My gosh.
The special?
It needs to come out now. I want to watch all of it and then watch it backwards.
Well, that's the Victorian era one, right?
I don't know. I just want to watch more.
It's a one-off episode. So they're doing one episode that is a throwback to Victorian era. So it's not the next season.
I still want to watch it.
Yeah, that seems like it's still kind of cool.
Me too. No, I'm very much looking forward to it.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. Because they were in a cart and buggy, or horse and buggy. Yeah,
it's a throwback.
Yeah.
And so it's not actually season 4 yet. It's like, must wait even longer for season 4.
Yeah, I watched Sherlock so much that I've just been playing it on my 60-inch TV while I go to bed. I fall asleep to Sherlock now.
I don't think I could do that. I would have to pay attention.
Well, I've watched it so many times. It's kind of like, the movie, he takes 4 steps, gets shot, and then the other guy freaks out, Mm-hmm. I'm at that level with it now.
Gotcha.
It's pretty bad.
I'm trying to think of what I've been playing, and what I've been watching, I will direct everybody, if you're not easily offended, to go to YouTube and type in 24 Days of Elves.
I just watched that, by the way.
That I posted to you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty...
Listener, be careful. It is definitely not work safe.
No, NSFW.
Yeah. NSFW, and definitely not cool for kids. But it's kind of funny. It's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
Something we have been watching, Jordan, is Death Note.
Oh, the live action or the manga?
The manga.
Or the anime, sorry.
The anime. My daughter and I have been watching it.
Really?
Yep.
It's
yeah, she loves it.
It is such a good show.
It is. We're having as much fun trying to figure out all of the ins and outs. Even when we know a lot of what's going on, it's like, what's going to happen next?
L and Malo and all that fun stuff.
L and Light and
Yamagami.
Yeah, Ryuk and Rem, and it's interesting.
So that tells me at least that you're that far.
Yeah, we've
Rem.
gotten. Well, I think we're on episode like 14 or something.
Yeah, the whole other Shinigami thing was really, really cool.
So we're watching that, and then Hannah started watching Gotham. And so every now and then she'll come to us with questions like, Dad, who's Edward Nygma?
You mean Mr. Enigma?
I'm like, Enigma? I know who that is. Okay, so we can talk about that. And it's been funny.
That's Jim Carrey, sweetheart.
I know, right? The only person that should be the Riddler.
How is Gotham?
Well, she seems to enjoy it quite a bit. I have not actually watched a whole lot of it. I've kind of picked up on bits and pieces she's been watching. The kid they got to play the Penguin is spot on. He is really good. I like the way they have him look, and his mannerisms are very fitting. Still a little confused about how they're introducing some of the characters and storylines. So Gordon had a girlfriend named Barbara, but Hannah suspects that she may be Batgirl. But I'm like, no, that's Gordon's.
That's his daughter.
Gordon's daughter. So what are they doing here? So they might be messing with the storyline a little bit. I don't know where they're going with that.
Yeah, that'd be a little weird. I don't want to think about that. Let's go ahead and take a break. And when we get back, we'll be covering rhythm games and music. And games like what game? What game should we talk about? Maybe, I don't know.
Canada Dry.
Canada Dry? Yes, that is the best game ever. We'll see you on the flip side.
The Game Out Loud podcast. Yeah, the Game Out Loud podcast.
And we're back. So, listener, if you want to have a good time, go back to episode 153, jump to 27 minutes and 28 seconds in, and enjoy that little fiasco that I just exposed Mark to. And if you remember the contest we had not too long ago, then you know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, that was great. That
was incredible.
I mean, I really have to be honest. It's just so good.
I don't know what you're going to hear on Game Out Loud.
Yeah, and then the next week with the high-pitched ones, it was fantastic. It sounds like someone was releasing air out of a balloon.
Yeah.
But here we are to talk about rhythm games, music games, and I find it apt that my brother is on for this episode due to the fact that you actually lived the music lifestyle, not music game lifestyle. You actually lived the touring and going around.
I suppose as much as there is one, I could have lived the music game lifestyle also.
Yes.
But
I remember coming to your house, having your entire room taken over by plastic peripherals.
I know, right? It was epic.
I was there. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all did it. We shredded.
We did, amazingly.
Well, yeah, I mean, so you say I lived the music lifestyle. Yes. For a very brief time there, I was in a band for about 6 years, and we actually did take a tour out to Nashville. And played a show there, which was cool. Very much a valuable experience for me. I didn't stay in the band very much longer after that, but because my wife would have killed me. Yes. But it was a good experience. And then, of course, now talking about gaming, music gaming, and I realized that music is probably a rough approximation of what it is. I mean, really, we're talking rhythm gaming.
Correct.
Still, I got valuable experiences out of it. I mean,
You can do basic drum fills now, right? And bass beats and stuff?
I can do basic beats. I can do fills. And I can do them on the fly. So, I mean, yeah, it sounds awesome when I have a whole bunch of little colored bars coming down, on the screen at me. I can be amazing. But if you sit me behind a drum kit, I can actually do the basics. And, that's enough to keep, like, the worship band at church going and stuff. So, there's a skill there.
Yeah. I remember when I first read about, like, Guitar Hero. I can't remember where I read it, but I remember I read about it. I'm like, how is this going to work? This sounds like it's going to be the dumbest thing ever. Like, you're going to hit buttons and this, and it's not going to be good. And then I lost track of it for a while, and then I had friends that just absolutely got ever loving into it. It was crazy. And vicariously, I started playing it too with them. I'm never very, very good. Mostly because I feel that whenever I tried to jump, like, the actual buttons are smaller than a fret jump on a real guitar. So when I'm trying to do that, I would always hit like one above when I was trying to do like the high level ones and stuff like that. But they're a lot of fun. Like, I remember coming over to your place and playing with the kids and doing all that fun stuff with Rock Band and all that great jazz.
Well, and talk about introducing a whole new generation of kids to music that, usually music is a generational thing, and to have this game that jumped decades, covered different genres and really exposed a bunch of kids to a lot of these formative songs that, create a foundation for what, what I listen to, what you listen to, what they listen to, and ties a lot of these generations together in a way that never really happened, I don't think, musically before.
Yeah. You had to sit there and be tortured by your dad with old records or tapes to get that sort of experience.
Heck yeah.
And how about you, Dylan? You kind of took this to the, greatest logical extent in playing Rocksmith quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I am a very vehement advocate for Rocksmith 2014 edition.
Why does it sound like you're in your shower?
My AC is on.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, there's not much I can do about that.
Okay.
And the acoustics in my room have changed. So, no, it's a great way to actually learn a guitar. I mean, you're talking about the plastic peripherals of, Guitar Hero, Rock Band. I don't know, dear listener, how many of those you've experienced.
DK's Bongo Kong or whatever that one was.
What?
Yeah, they had
DK's, bongos. You had 2 bongos you played to play the game.
That seems like it would be severely limited.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a real 1-2 punch.
Oh. Man, we've gone this long. Couldn't we have just gone a little longer?
It's inevitable, Mark.
Anyway.
Death, taxes, and my terrible jokes.
Yes.
But it takes it from the 5 buttons that we came to, know and love for Rock Band and Guitar Hero, and it actually takes an actual guitar now. And so, I mean,
sweet.
What's up?
I said such sweet.
Yeah, like it. As a musician, I know how to play a decent amount of music. Some of the songs that came up in the games, obviously popular ones. For example, Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. The very beginning riff is all open strings, and it was extremely counterintuitive to be holding down buttons with my left hand while I'm playing in these notes.
Mm.
It was like, what?
Just let me strum.
Yeah, but they didn't actually have a way to do that,
Right. Well, so what about I know that Rock Band 3 had that guitar peripheral that had all the buttons on it, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
One more time? Oh, well, it had a lot, right? It wasn't all the fret. It wasn't all the frets, was it?
I thought it was, or at least, I mean, that thing had a bazillion buttons on it.
But there wasn't, from what I remember, a full-blown every single fret button.
Okay. Well, and certainly nothing like a real guitar. I mean, I've played older versions of Rocksmith, and I agree with you, Dylan. It is the, quintessential tool. I mean, it is not just a game at that point. It is an educational tool.
Oh, yeah, it's gamification of learning an actual skill.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the beautiful thing, it's hard to have kids like sit down and do something without it being on their iPhone or whatever. But now you can actually play a game based on the notes of the guitar you make. The kids at first are like, this is kind of dumb, but then they realize how fun it is, and they play it a lot, but what they don't realize is they're actually still practicing the guitar.
Yeah. I mean, my daughter's learning that now, too. She takes French in high school, and she has gotten onto Duolingo and started learning French on Duolingo. And that gaming overlay onto the skill of speaking French is just taking her, to another level as far as learning.
Right? I think that's like, that was what I was excited for. Like, cause I knew that these peripherals, people had fun with them, but the whole time I was playing those games, I'm like, man, they need to make a game that actually teaches you guitar. Like, makes it fun, lets you use an actual guitar to play. And my friends called me crazy. They said, Jordan, you don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, yeah, dude. And they're like, no. I don't know. But seriously, though, I want Rocksmith just because I want to get back into playing guitar. The problem is that I don't have time. Like, and that still takes a lot of time.
Absolutely. Any skill. I mean, you have to practice it, right?
Yeah. Now, Dylan, that's set up still just like a standard highway, right?
What, like the Rock Band Guitar Hero idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's still like a note highway.
Yes. But it's a lot bigger.
And they actually made it, like they have progressing versions of the song that you learn to play. Like, do you learn like the basics and they add more to it, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it's really nice. Going into this game when I first got it, I own it for the PS4, by the way. Going into it, I wasn't sure, and maybe I wasn't sure where I stacked up in the realm of guitar capabilities. And maybe that's
what level are you?
I gave myself the crappiest rating I could think of, and I just started at beginner. Because I didn't know. I knew that every single sound that was made, I would have to play, and I knew it would become extremely overwhelming trying to play Cliffs of Dover. In actuality, not in, Guitar Hero form. Mm-hmm. And so I started beginner, and I learned, and they just give you a couple notes here and there, and they teach you, crossing strings and shifting and all that stuff, and fingerings and whatnot. And as you play through them, the game will follow your progress. So each song is divided into a whole bunch of little segments, okay, little sections, if you will. And based on how well you perform each section, it will either increase the difficulty of that specific section, keep it the same, or even make it easier, just depending upon, again, your performance. So it's really nice to be able to... Huh?
Your percentage rating?
Yeah. And just, how well you hit the notes, if you do them on time, if you don't. And even mid-song, if it's the same riff, like the chorus, for example, if it's, it might just have you strum one chord for the whole chorus. But if it realizes that you can kind of handle that pretty well, even in the same playthrough, the next time the chorus comes around, it might add a couple things to it. Like, now you've got to strum it 3 times like they do in the real song. And it's a lot of fun.
So I guess the processing power to interpret the frequencies coming in from the guitar must be huge. Otherwise, don't you think they would have implemented this into one of the, Guitar Hero Rock Band scenarios?
That I'm not sure. I mean, the PlayStation 4 handles it fine.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no lag. Like, it doesn't lag. There's no performance hiccups for, visually, i.e. frame rate or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a graphically intensive game, though. So I think that a majority of the processing power that was used for graphics has now gone to the processing of the note and all that.
Oh, so you're saying Rocksmith is not graphically intensive. It is.
Yes,
it's using more of the processing power of using notes.
Exactly. And so, it's not going to be like you're in the middle. It's like not a 4K game by any means. You know what I mean? You're not going to see these stunning visuals and this, that, and the other. You're obviously focusing on the notes coming down, and they acknowledge that. They're not going to give. I mean, they give you different places to play and stuff like that, but all in all, it's when you're actually playing the game, it's just background.
Well, and that's one thing that I always wondered about with Rock Band, especially with singing. I mean, far be it for me to, toot my own horn, but I'm a fairly accomplished singer, and I notice, quite a bit of variation in how those microphones pick up the notes that are sung. Not just for me, but for a lot of people. And, that there is processing delay. I never did get a chance to evaluate, what the delay was based on maybe the number of players, the number of inputs it was trying to deal with, or what have you. But, I think that's definitely a direction that, if one of these companies can break through and find a way to integrate real guitars into a group game like that, I think it's a huge step.
Yeah, definitely. One of the sad things is you can't have two guitars going, or you can. I don't remember. I haven't ever even tried. It would be nice to have a full-blown band.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Something like Rocksmith. It would be great. Like you said, though, I think that we're not there yet in terms of the capabilities of any console. You would have to do it on a PC if you did it at all. If
you could do it then.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was one thing that, I liked about Rock Band 3 was the integration of the keyboard. That keyboard, it wasn't a full keyboard, obviously, but it still had a full range. I mean, if you played a song, I mean, it would shift your highway, as Jordan calls it, to represent the zones you're going to be in. And sometimes you'd have 2 or 3 shifts because it can only cover so many notes at once. The keyboard is technically wider than the highway can represent. So if you're playing multiplayer, it would have to shift focus to show you where your notes were going.
Right, and that's what it does in Rocksmith. It like that shift you're mentioning, which is nice. And each string has its own color. So that's where the color comes in. And then the note, you'll have to see the number at the bottom, and then just watch your frets. It won't give you a number for every single note. It would just say, like, there's little dots on the fretboard, and then you have to gauge from there. Do
you feel so when the game is playing, it's a highway, right? So the notes are coming down the screen at you. Did you find it difficult to translate that into the lateral motion of your hand on the frets at first, or did that kind of okay?
I did, but at the same time, like I said, there's a bunch of different little games it's little mini games, that they teach you and help you practice that whole concept of shifting or fingerings, there's a ton of stuff. A ton of stuff in this game that I can totally, my buddy, his kid wanted to learn how to play the guitar, and I actually told him, instead of Musician, he was talking about, checking out Musician, the app. I told him, no, dude, screw that. Like, he likes playing video games, right? He said, yeah. I said, get him Rocksmith 2014, because he has a real guitar. He said, yeah. I said, get him Rocksmith 2014.
And it doesn't matter what kind of guitar, right? As long as it has electric outs?
Electric outs.
So you can use an acoustic.
Electric, whatever.
Well, you can use an acoustic electric, microphone.
Will that work? You can actually do a microphone pickup into it too?
Well, no. So the acoustic electric inserts that pick up that output.
Right. Yeah, the pickups in the aperture there.
So
sure. Yeah. Right. Because those are just
those are
still
pickups. 1/4 inch.
Right.
Yeah.
And those are 1/4 inch out.
And then you can plug in that, and then the USB goes in your PS4. But
gotcha.
It's, I don't know. I'm still interested. I mean, if you try to do something full-blown band, as we were talking about earlier, what are you going to do with the drums? I mean,
Yeah.
The bass and the guitar, the Rocksmith does either bass or guitar.
And you were saying you can't do 2 people simultaneously, is that correct?
I haven't tried.
Okay.
You might be able to, I just haven't tried.
So I'm trying to remember what version I played. I think it must have been the 2013 or whatever came before 2014. I played for about a month or so. I borrowed it. And, I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I thought it would have been very cool to be able to play, 2 players together with, guitar and bass.
Sweet. Well, you have a pretty expansive Rock Band DLC library, don't you, Mark?
Well, I did. I traded the games in. When I got the PS4, I couldn't play them anymore, so I used them as part of my trade-in to get the PS4. But I don't know if they're going to if Harmonix is going to let you have all of your old back DLC. I think they will.
Yeah, I think they're working on getting those all done. But
I mean, I know they had
quite a
some
few.
problems with, like, I think Metallica, Enter Sandman wasn't one, or was that one of them that they didn't carry over from 1 to 2 because of licensing issues?
Yeah.
So you actually had to throw in the first disc in order to play that song in Rock Band 2, which is, always kind of odd to me. But I'm seriously hoping it, when I pick it up, because I know I will, I just haven't gotten it yet, that I can get all of my old DLC. That would be spectacular, because that's a huge library.
Oh yeah, and I think this is more like a platform for them to give you more stuff. Like, they need to keep it that way. Don't come out with a Rock Band 4. Just take all that old stuff that you already have, give it to you, let you get more.
Well, and the worst part is that I got rid of my peripherals. Because I didn't know they were going to do a Rock Band 4, and even if they did, I didn't think they would use the old peripherals. So I have to get new peripherals, but that's okay. I don't mind that.
Yeah, that would be good, because those, are they even releasing a new one?
No, I think they're using the old models. I think they've upgraded the drum kick pedal a little bit. I know that they're just doing the 4-disc drum set. They're not doing the cymbals with it. Mm-hmm. I think they're dialing it back down to just the basic.
I liked the cymbals.
I love the cymbals. I don't think they picked up very well, though, sometimes. I noticed that I would have a harder time getting them to trigger than the drums.
Well, I have recently purchased a digital drum set.
Mm-hmm.
And what's up?
You can use those, can't you? For the game?
I have no idea. I would assume so. I mean, you just plug it into the quote-unquote brain of the operation of the drum kit itself, I would assume.
I'm not sure.
I have no idea. I haven't tried. But, and I think you're right. Like, if you actually ever have taken apart a electronic drum set before, especially if it's going to be mass-produced, they're not going to be super high quality.
No.
And so if you can imagine the dramatic decrease in quality for something that's made for a video game,
yeah,
which is going to be obscenely mass-produced, but take it apart, and I would. That's what we did. We'd take it apart and I'd fix my own cymbals and heads and stuff.
Cool.
'Cause, you get those people who don't understand the concept of soft.
No, not at all. No.
Like, they're taking, real drumsticks and playing the electronic drum kit like a real drum kit.
Whacking the crap out of it.
Oh, yeah. Like, I actually had somebody hit the crash cymbal so hard so much, they knocked off the soldering for the wire to the pad.
Wow.
So it wouldn't work. I had to take it apart, and I had to, tape it on there. And that was only a temp fix, to be sure.
Sure.
So.
Yes, I mean, they're not real cymbals. I don't have to hit them harder to make them louder sounding.
Seriously.
People get exuberant.
Oh.
In their exuberance, they can pay for a new drum kit.
I know, right?
Those things weren't cheap.
No, dude, I had a Band Hero.
What was that one?
It was pretty much like a ghettofied version of.
Did you play the one, the drum and then the trombone? They had a little plastic trombone you had to play, and then a trumpet?
No, I mean, I played the drums. They had.
No, that was Band Camp Hero.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's Band Camp. This one time at Band Camp.
You play the piccolo?
Seriously. It came with a drums kit and a guitar and a mic. And I actually took it over to Lambert's house, who doesn't play anything like that. And he actually played it a lot. A lot. We even got his roommate involved too. He's like, "What are you guys playing?" "Come on, no, you gotta try it. Come here." So.
Well, rhythm games are. I think they're here to stay. I mean, as limited as they are. I mean, that's the bummer is that you think you're doing music, but you're not. It's really just rhythm, timing, and it's just how hard of timing can you do. Except for Rocksmith.
I was gonna say, that's the difference between that and Rocksmith, though. I love Rocksmith because I can actually pick up a guitar and play the riff now.
Yeah.
Instead of, okay, what button do I need to push to play this again? Oh, I can't really actually play it.
Right. Right.
Well, time will tell. if they're going to last. We know Dylan will keep playing those games, and he'll buy all the
Heck
DLC.
Yeah, Heck yeah, dude. I love them, man. I'm actually really excited about them coming out. I can't believe I didn't remember to get it.
Yeah, it's like $250 for a guitar, set of drums, a microphone, and the game as a package.
That's not bad.
Not terrible, except that I would want to get 2 guitars. So
you just get 2 packages.
Yeah, so that when the first drum set runs out, then I can have a backup.
Exactly. It's only $1,000.
Yeah. I remember saying about $2,000 computers and not being able to, but you rich guys can get those.
Yeah, but you get the $1,000 just peripherals, then you show us. That's how.
That's right. Suckers.
Yeah. And then we'll have to come down there and play with you.
Yep, absolutely. I will be the draw.
Yay. We're having GulpCon at Mark's place. It's official.
That's right. GulpCon.
Yes.
Speaking of cons.
Oh, yeah.
You see GulpCon? Yeah, so next weekend, I am going to be attending the Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
I hear that one gets old quick.
But this is the 10th year of it, so it must be that old. But they have, panels from developers of old, retro game. Well, I mean, the original retro games when they weren't retro. They're actually having the Tetris Grand Championships there.
Whoa.
And they're going to have a show floor full of games on free play, pinball, video games, you name it. Tons of panels, music. They're going to have
Power Glove.
There's a movie they're playing about gaming. I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head, but the website.
Savage won.
Say again?
Fred Savage won.
I know, right? He did. Super Mario Brothers 3. Woo! But the website is I think it's portlandretrogaming.com, and if anybody's going, they can register up until I think Friday, pre-register for a little cheaper tickets. But it goes on Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to be there on Sunday, hopefully all day with my sister. She's an old school gamer like I am, so we're going to go and hang out and have some fun, and maybe people are going to be dressing up, cosplaying, and hopefully, be able to learn some cool stuff about the industry and see some games I haven't seen in a while. I don't know. They're going to have an auction on Saturday for all sorts of stuff. I think that a couple of years ago they had a development copy of Blockout for the NES.
I don't know what that is.
Blockout was 3D Tetris. So Weltris, basically, you're looking down into a well. And the pieces are floating down past your head as you look down, and they're 3-dimensional. So you not only fit just, horizontal and vertical, but also depth as well.
Yep.
And you clear out planes in the well. So I didn't even know anything like that existed until I saw that they had sold that, like 3 years ago at one of these auctions. So it should be a blast. I'm hoping that there's a lot of people down there, and if anybody knows the podcast, they're going to be there. Give a shout out to Mark. I'm going to be there. So
sweet, yeah. Go say hi, shake his hand, say you're the man.
I'm that guy.
You're that one guy. I heard you on that podcast
with the dudes,
guy.
With the other guy.
You the man.
They have the face.
You're the man.
I know. I can have sex anytime that you want.
And I'll be good. I'll come to bed when I'm darn ready to sleep on the couch. Because a man's got to do what a man's got to do, and I'm going to do what you tell me to.
Because I'm top dog around here, but I've been neutered.
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man.
That song's so funny.
I like that one, and then is it Orgasmo?
I don't know. Are we violating copyright here?
I don't think so. We're not actually using the entire thing.
There you go. Anyway, so.
Well, Vanilla Ice got in trouble. He didn't use the entire thing. He just used the bass line.
Boom, 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 boom.
Just saying.
Boom, 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 boom. He also made lots of money on that.
That's true. We're floating a whole lot of goose eggs on this.
Don't talk about your goose eggs on the podcast, Dylan.
Sorry. I was just trying to, work them in, man. Nobody ever wants to talk podcast. Nobody ever wants to talk about my goose eggs.
Sweet.
See? It's stifled again. I
think at this point, listener, we're going to go ahead and let you go. So let's go ahead and give Mark wow, you actually have a Cresswell CD. State your name.
I do. That's my band.
Yeah, that is great.
Sorry, dear listener, you can't see the video, but I'm showing Dylan the one album that we recorded.
Wow. The one, the only.
Cresswell.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Originally
There is another
called
album,
The Watchmen.
Well, yeah, and Savant and Seven Penny Shine, whatever. Anyway,
Wait, I thought you never went with Seven Penny Shine.
briefly we did. Here's the one that Will did after.
I'm just a bystander here.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, completely different sound. Anyway, sorry, I distract you from your closing.
But yes, I was just going to say thank you for coming on, Mark.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, we'll have to have you more often. Then you can ditch that moniker of regular.
I don't want to be irregular.
Yes, we need to get you the video game
Metamucil will
fiber.
help.
Yes, I need some fiber.
Well, go eat a wicker basket. Dylan, thanks for coming on.
Always, man, always. Thank you so much.
Yes, and you, dear listener, of course, we want to thank you for every week trudging through the depths of the video game podcast world to come and say hi to us. If you want to give us some feedback or just say what up, you can find us at gameoutloudpodcast@gmail.com. We're on the twits at gameoutloudcast. You can find us on bagofgames.com or geekcultureradio.com, or you can get the entire backlog on gameoutloudpodcast.com, which we're going through some issues there, so that's down, but the feed will always be up. Speaking of feeds, we're on iTunes. If you head on over there and download us, give us a review. Let us know what you think. It helps us get in front of everybody else, and my wife is impatiently standing behind me. So at this point, guys, we will see you next week.
That's the stuff that goes in like at the very beginning or the end of the podcast. You cut that out and like patch it in somewhere.
Yeah, I keep telling Rob to do that, but he never does.
You gotta do outtakes.
Yeah, like the stuff between. I love having that
You know
stuff.
who said to do outtakes?
Huh?
Jordan
Me!
did. Yeah, you.
I've been telling him to do them for years. And if you notice, whenever I edit, there are outtakes. They're at the end, like after the music. There's actually stuff there.
Those.
I don't
You
edit
don't
very
need
often.
very much. 10, 15 seconds is really, I mean, people realize, hey, there's an Easter egg at the end of this thing.
Alright, man. I am ready to record.
At 8.
Let me know when.
Go ahead. I've been recording for the last 5
Hey, it's
minutes.
on. Well, hurry up then, eh?
You're
It's
not
on you
even
to start
drinking
it.
the scotch.
What?
What?
You're not even drinking the scotch.
Me? No. I am not drinking scotch.
Why do you sound like that?
Because
You're
you're
living
drinking
vicariously.
scotch.
I'm just drinking whiskey.
Are you better drinking a bit of the whiskey, you boyo?
The thimble.
A thimble of whiskey. You won't happen to have a pace for a man who needs a little wetter drug, do you? All right. Yeah. Did you happen to listen to the episode that contained the hidden clues to get a free game?
Whoa.
Did you listen to that episode?
I did not.
Oh, did you hear about that episode?
No.
Dylan, I'll let you explain.
So, Jordan doesn't necessarily mute very well. So, so smack dab in the middle of the podcast. Actually, it happens, what, like 7 minutes and 27 seconds in? 17, 20, I
don't remember.
But you hear, I'm actually talking. No, Rob, the first one, Rob was talking.
Yeah.
And there's a slight pause, as he collects his thoughts. And then you hear, "Bwah!" Jordan farted. And it was muted.
He was not muted.
And no. So, we found out later, and what Rob was editing it, so he actually turned it up.
No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't?
No, so he didn't even know it was there. What happened was that he went and just did what he normally does, and it came up, and he like leveled everything out, did everything, and it just happened to expose this severely loud fart that came on. So I gotta be honest, and it is.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it for you, dude. It's freaking hilarious, dude.
And so we made it a joke. We were like, okay, so whoever can give us the sound of Jordan ripping ass, if you can give us the time code, we'll give you a copy of Rocket League.
Oh my god.
Like, it was amazing. It's after the Metal Gear history, right?
I'm looking to see if I can find it.
Games you should be playing.
But to be honest, brat.
Yeah, it's games you should be playing, but what's the timestamp?
I'm listening for it.
Apparently Jordan didn't mute himself and ripped a fart right in the middle of a podcast. And when Rob went through and did all his leveling, it just brought it right out. So here it is. Well, to be perfectly honest, brat.
No, it's, to be honest, I haven't really dabbled in the,
So they made a contest and said, if you guys can give us the exact timestamp that Jordan ripped one, you can get a free copy of Rocket League.
They started flooding in.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how many submissions did you get on that?
We got quite a few, and I'm like, what is this time? What timestamp are you giving me? And I go to listen, and there's nothing there. I'm like, what are these people hearing?
You didn't know about it either?
No, I did. I'm the one who found it.
But these people are hearing other things thinking, oh, that was it.
Yeah.
I take it somebody got it at some point.
Yeah. And the next week, just to make a joke out of it, because the last time, I was sitting there just like,
no. Like, so I'm sitting there freaking talking. I'm freaking talking and giving what I've been playing. And I hear, like, I'm trying not to laugh. I am trying my dangest not to laugh.
Yes.
And I hear him going for it again. And I totally, you can hear me, like, I start slowing down a little bit. What I'm, talking about.
Sure.
To,
gather yourself.
Thoughts together, It's so bad.
All your things coming across like William Shatner.
Yeah. Did you find it, Dylan?
I'm actually looking for, okay. So, games you should be playing.
Which means it's running on the mission of rare games.
Well, we'll have to sit here and listen to it a second.
Developer. And I think
how rare are they?
Man, that's just a bad joke, Jordan. It's just bad.
And keep in mind, Mark, this is the first time that my friend Dave has been on the podcast.
Okay.
E3 this year, Microsoft announced they were releasing a big package of classic rare games dating back over 30 years. And there's 30 games in this $30 game.
So it's $1 a year and per game. And I hear it has your favorite game in it, Rob.
It's $1 per game. And although a lot of them aren't really worth $1 anymore. Like, there's a lot of curiosities in this collection. But a lot of them are great.
Oh, wait, hold on.
No, you're right at it.
No, I'm not. I know what it is.
Pork. The same goes for...
okay, here we go.
I'm not going to lie. I did not know they were around that long.
Yeah.
That's Nintendo. That's pretty old.
Yeah, so that is when the NES came out, was 83. So there's stuff on here that is that old. And I've dipped into a little bit of that older stuff. I gotta be honest, like it doesn't. That is when the NES came out.
Did they realize what had happened?
No.
No, dude, okay, no. I freaking heard it, but I didn't say anything because I didn't want to say anything.
Right. Go back. Play it again.
Play it again.
Mark, do you want to turn on your speakers?
Yeah, hang on a sec. Let me unplug it real quick. All right. Here you go, kids. This is a good one.
Okay, so this is Jordan.
No, just
just play it.
And I've dipped into a little bit of that older stuff. I gotta be honest, like it doesn't really interest me that much.
Again.
Going back,
That's pretty old.
yeah. So that is when the NES came out, was 83. So there's stuff on here that is that old. And I've dipped into a little bit of that older stuff. I gotta be honest, like it doesn't really interest me that much.
I love it because he says, I gotta, and then rips a butt. He's like, I gotta.
I gotta be.
I was like, what the heck was that? And I go back and listen. I'm like, yeah, sure, shit, that's what that was. That was great.
Dude, so
Gosh.
So I'm sitting there. I wake up in the morning, getting ready for work, and I come over to my computer, and there's this lines of messages from Jordan on Skype. I'm like, uh-oh, hope everything's okay with the podcast. Like, the recording get messed up or whatever. And all I see is, ha 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 ha, OMG, LOL, and then a time code. And I'm like, what? And I go to it, dude, and I almost peed myself. Because I hadn't gotten
I'm dying for breath over here.
Yeah, man, it was hilarious. Like, it's so loud. Like, and nobody got it right away. I was like, how can you not hear it? How can you not hear that?
It sounded like he was grunting. It sounded like all
like,
Rob did was like, to be honest.
Right?
It was pretty good. I heard that and I was just like, holy crap. That was, and the way he paused.
He was the one that did it. He knew what was going on.
Well, no, he didn't hear it. Like, I'm like, dude, did you do that? Like, I messaged him, like, did you do that on purpose? And he's like, what?
What?
I'm like, the fart. Did you do that on purpose? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I sent him the time. And he listens to it and calls me. He's like, what happened? And I'm like, I thought I was muted. And I'm like, you didn't hear that before? He's like, no, I heard something. But I guess when I leveled everything out, it just brought that up because of the pause in me talking. And it was just, I gotta be honest. I just said, brah, and it,
I'm gonna be honest. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now here's hoping we can record. Oh my gosh.
Really wouldn't hurt to mention, hey, we kind of went down memory lane a little bit. And
I know, right?
at one time at
the contest.